of Whiskey and Weed, episode 37. I'm your host, Terry, and I never know what to say. Every time I do this episode and I get to that part, I never really know what to say right after I introduce myself as your host. I guess I'll jump into good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're listening to it. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all had another fantastic week. It's been very fantastic for me. Very busy as usual. Um, Announcements I have this week. I will not be recording next week as I will be traveling. So, with me starting my new job, a lot of commuting is picking up and a lot of opportunities are opening up. One of those opportunities being that I am now traveling. So I will be traveling to Boston. And because I will be so busy with a lot of things, I won't have the chance to really sit down, settle, and record. So I won't be recording next week, unfortunately. I'm sorry, you guys, but I will be jumping back into it the week after when I get back. I'll be going all week next week. So, that's the only announcement. Sorry I had to do that to you, but just opportunity calls and I got to jump when the time is necessary. But I'm here now and we going to jump into What's the Whiskey Friend because we got some news to cover. So, this week for What's the Whiskey Friend, a few things I want to jump into actually that I've been dipping into, reading about, observing. So I want to cover, first of all, some new music this week. I just want to cover two things. I want to cover Normani. Now, I've always been a stan for Normani, and if anyone else from Fifth Harmony, I would probably say Dinah J. But also, dang it, who's the other chick? Lauren. I stand for like all three of them actually because they're dope as hell. So, but Normani, you just, even being in the group, Normani always had that star power. I think just when you're dealing with so many people, so many different voices, so many different, personalities, one can stand out more than the other. In this case, it was Camilla because of her pop essence and everything and her uniqueness when it came to her voice. But Normani, let me tell you, that girl is up next. She is, and I mean, she's gonna surpass all of them. It is her time. It took patience. It took patience with Normani, and she was patient while still putting in that hard work. But new music, she dropped a song called Motivation. She dropped a new video for it, and when I first heard the song, I was like, it's okay, it's cute. Usually the best songs for me, I have to listen to a few times for it to grow on me. So yeah, when I first heard it, it was upbeat, it was catchy, it was trendy. But when I saw that video, yes, she did it. I think the video had me hooked for sure, more than the actual song. She gave a salute, a tribute to the 2000 era. So I believe, obviously it started off with Beyonce, Crazy in Love, but I think she gave tribute to J-Lo. She gave tribute to Britney. She gave tribute to Sierra. And she just looked great. Like, I mean, talent from the top of her head all the way down to her pinky toe. The girl can dance. People are already trying to get the choreography down. I'm not going to even try this time because my ass is, I could barely bend down to pick up a piece of paper, let alone do all that shit. So I'm going to pass on this one. But a lot of people trying to get the choreography down. She does it. I mean, it's a good song. It's a good video. And so now I've been addicted to it and obsessed with it. It's a perfect gym song. So, I fucks with that. So, kudos to her. Like I'm so excited and I'm so anxious and hungry for like music from her, for an album and everything. Like I'm just ready for her to explode, and be out there and to do her thing because I've been following Fifth Harmony since the X Factor days, and yeah, I'm very, very excited to see this beautiful black woman getting ready to take over and follow in Beyonce's footsteps, because you can see she gets a lot of inspiration from Beyonce. I mean, it's just to the T with that. Man, she's gonna do so great. She just keep pushing, keep hustling, but the music industry can sometimes have its negative things. So hopefully she stays true to herself, and having so much fame, which I mean she has all had fame obviously with Fifth Harmony, but I don't think I'm worried that she'll change, because a lot of music artists, they eventually change, or it gets the best of them when you reach such a certain height of fame, it becomes too much. So I am rallying behind Normani. I am rooting for her, and I want to see her succeed. Like, that is some black excellence right there. So congratulations to her on this video. I don't know where it's at now as far as views, but I know the day after it came out, it was at like at least 7 million. So I'm sure it's probably up there now because it's been out for some time. Yeah, great, great video. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check that shit out. Get those views up, support her. I stand a black queen. So let her do her thing. Another music video topic that came out that I just kind of briefly want to mention, but then go into deeply on keeping it real, is, of course, none other than Taylor Swift. And she dropped a song. I think her album is about to drop. She dropped the song and the video for her single Lover. And I think I'll probably just leave it right there, because I really want to jump into this for keeping it real, because it's just something that continues to bother me when it comes to the talk about Taylor Swift and what she represents or how people feel about her. It's just it's perfect for the segment, for the category of keeping it real, so I'm gonna leave it there. What we can jump into, though, is a few news articles that's been taking place. What I have next is the FBI has seized 25 guns from a teenager arrested for threatening to shoot up a gay bar. So, just another typical day in America. Another typical day where we got some bullshit going on, either some white supremacy, mental illness, whatever you want to label it with, but overall just hate and, just taintedness and just evil. It's sad that it's almost making us as Americans be desensitized to hear things like this, because it's become such a common thing in America now, especially over the past year. So here we are again. We have an Ohio teenager. He's been arrested, just turned 18, talking about, he's been waiting to stockpile weapons, and he has, I guess the FBI seized over 25 guns and over 10,000 rounds of ammunition. He had 15 rifles. He had 10 semi-automatic pistols. These are the guns, that are used in the mass shootings, because they can fire multiple shots very quickly. So it's just, I still get the goosebumps just even reading it, because this is something that continues to taint our country and plague our country. It's just ridiculous. He has I guess he had a online page or an online forum where he's posted photos of an AR-15 part kit, saying he's been purchasing it to build his own semi-automatic rifle. He moderated a chat room. That's what it was. It was like a forum chat room where he made the threats. Another member of the group, God bless him, reported him to the FBI. The federal law enforcement agency partnered with the local police to apprehend Olsen, because of the mass shootings. They can't really take this stuff too lightly now. Any slight concern or threat or red flag thrown their way, it's best they jump on it, because this shit is getting ridiculous. So he's charged with aggravated menacing, but claims he was only making jokes about shooting federal agents and the LGBT. I mean, yeah, how do you joke about this? This boy has threatened not only to fire at a gay bar, but also at a Planned Parenthood clinic. I'm sorry. I try to be very open minded. I try not to place people on certain sides or whatever, but this has white supremacy written all over it. And not to be very like not to jump so much into the political side, but this is very much a Republican standpoint. I know not all Republicans are like this, so don't feel any kind of way. But when it comes to the anti-gay and the parent Planned Parenthood clinic, that's all Republican. That's all Republican who rally against this on a constant basis. So it's just I can't help but to think that this person is affiliated with that, which represents a large portion of white supremacy. So you mean to tell me that you're going to sit there and say you were joking about it? Like, get the fuck out of here. Put his ass in jail right now, because you joke about it. Okay, you can joke about shit like that. But when they come and they seize 25 guns and over 10,000 rounds of ammunition, and your response to that is that, oh, I was only joking about it, but yeah, here's the evidence right here to back it up. You got to be kidding me. Like, and he better not be let go, because it's just ridiculous. Like, you're joking about it because you got caught, because you couldn't follow through with your plan. So of course you're going to come up with any kind of reason, any kind of excuse to get out of it, because you need to continue with this evil plan that you have, orchestrated. But I hope they don't tread lightly around this, and I hope they keep his ass in jail, because he's 18 years old and he has 25 guns, assault rifles, machine guns. Like, no, they got to start catching it head on, and they can't be that naive. I'm trusting that this will be taken care of accordingly, and it won't be thrown out. But come on, like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, even if you was joking, you don't joke about shit like that, especially in the situation that we're dealing with in this day and age. Like, you don't joke about shit like that, whether you even have the guns or not. No, you don't go on an online forum talking about this is what you're gonna do, this is the plan you're gonna commit. And half the time it's just these young boys that are just so brainwashed by what they think the world and society should be, or they're battling their own demons of self-acceptance, and they can't come to terms with that. So this is how they lash out. This is how they, in a sense, break through, but not in a good way. And this is the consequences of it. It's because, like, either he's gay himself and he's trying to come to terms with his sexuality, or he's been brainwashed and, influenced by so much hate, be it his parents, be it his political views, his peers, anything, what's thrown on TV, what's thrown on the news, and how he affiliates that with the color of his skin, because yes, he is white, of course. All of this comes into part of how he views the outside world and how he thinks, the world should be, or this country should be, when it comes to LGBT, when it comes to black people, when it comes to Planned Parenthood, when it comes to immigrants or illegal aliens. Like, he has been influenced highly to think that this is how you handle it. And this is, like him, a lot of other young people are being influenced by this, being raised with this mindset of white privilege and racism and white supremacy to continue to do things like this. And it's like, when are white people gonna wake up, in a sense, and educate the young generation? But because it's just sad, because it's coming from the older white generation of the ones who lived in the past, the ones who's lived through the 70s and the 80s, even, and the 60s. It's going to continue, because it's a pattern of teachings from their younger breeds now, instilling that same hate. And just what we see on the news and everything, it's just something that I'm worried, how things are being represented, how things are being shown, and all the things we see, all just the hate going on, how we're still going to be, will continue to be divided, like as a nation. It's just it's coming back full circle, like just civil rights and everything. It's just baffling sometimes that we still have to live in a world like this, and you would think that things would be much more accepting. And they are to an extent. People are more fluid now. Obviously, people are more accepting of LGBT. But aside from LGBT, I know he specifically spoke on LGBT, but we still deal with people of black culture, people of black background being treated a certain way, people of a darker skin tone being treated a certain way. So it's just a lot. Sometimes it's just so exhausting, and it's like, I want to wake up, and I have to be realistic though, but I mean, in the dream world, I just want to wake up and I want people to just focus more on the peace of things and not so much on the hate that continues to divide us. But you know this is something that I also want to jump into when it comes to the keeping it real in relation to the Taylor Swift video, because I want to kind of just sit both parties down, on the white side, on the black side. Now, I'm not saying it's an equal balance on the hate, because white people, they do fucked up shit. They do. And they need to cut it out with their white privilege, with calling the cops, with the cops killing people. They need to do better, and they need to cut it out before black people reach a point where they've had enough, and then the violence gets more intense to where there's going to be riots and aggressive protests. It's just need to stop trying to have so much power over another human being and focus on your own manifestation and your own power while still loving and treating people around you with respect. I just believe in karma. Ain't no time to feel like I have power over another person when I'm trying to just get better and better as a human being every day. So I'm glad that they caught this kid. I'm glad that, they were able to prevent another possible mass shooting from happening at maybe another gay bar. And we just don't need no more of that trauma. We don't need no more of these situations. Like, please let us just feel like we can comfortably go outside or go to our safe havens without the fear of someone coming in and shooting up the place, because it's causing a high increase of anxiety and depression and just fear in people to even leave the house, and fear leading to anger and worry. Like, people, we just feel like we can't enjoy the day. We have to stay inside now because it's our only safe place, and even that, you never know. It's just ridiculous. Like, let's do better as human beings. Color aside, please, let's just do better as human beings and spirits and souls. Like, y'all need to pray more, and y'all need to find love within yourself and with God, for real, because it's getting crazy. But enough of that story. I want to jump into another story though. I want to jump into something I read regarding Queer Eye cast member Karamo Brown. So if you guys have not checked out Queer Eye, which comes on Netflix, I think you should check it out. I got my mom hooked on it, and I absolutely love the show. I mean, I'd be boo-hooing and shit. I just, that goes back to the being a human being, first, and seeing the spirit and the soul in people and love. And I just love what the show represents, like helping another person love themselves and loving everyone else, helping a person grow within themselves, inside and outside. And I just, it aside from all the craziness we see in the news, it's good to have a show like that to kind of come in breaks in between, to just bring feel good moments and to lighten things up. So yeah, I be boo-hooing my ass off watching that show, sniffling and shit. They do an amazing job. I love what the guys are doing, and I love how each one is different and unique, and they all have their message. However, what we gonna talk about for this situation though is our successful black man Karamo Brown from Queer Eye is under fire for defending Sean Spicer. I don't even know if I said his name right, because I never really care to know the name when I realize who these individuals are and what they represent. But Sean Spicer, who is, I guess, currently his Dancing with the Stars castmate. So they started Dancing with the Stars, is now back with, I think, season 28. And Karamo Brown, who is represented as the culture guy on the show, He's always bringing, like, it's almost like a therapist in a sense. He's bringing influence. And he's mentioned plenty of times how he's dealt with struggles as a black man and as a black gay man at that. So the reason he's being criticized right now and dragged in a sense is because he's defending Sean Spicer. In his interview, he gushed about how he was the most excited to meet Sean Spicer. So it's delivery, y'all. It's how you deliver things. It really is. Communication is key, and it's how you deliver it. Be careful and be conscious of your words. So his quotes are, people will look at us and think we're polar opposites. But I'm a big believer that if you can talk to someone and meet in the middle, you can learn about each other and help each other both grow. So he says that he and Spicer have been in conversation, and he calls Spicer a good guy, a really sweet guy. If you guys don't know what Spicer represents, I'm not going to go into the detail of this guy, but what I will say is that he has been known for attacking transgender rights and protections again, for the LGBT community. So that's enough right there to tell you a lot of what this person is. He backs Trump. He's a Trump supporter, of course. So those things right there should be enough bullet points to kind of give you an idea of who this individual is. An individual that's kind of spewed by hate as well, ignorance, white privilege. So, excuse me. So, Mr. Karamo Brown, how can I give my opinion on this? How can I view this? I'll start off with the positive. Let's get the good thing out of the way. I get I get the intentions of Karamo Brown. I get it. He wants to, he's the person, like how I kind of mentioned, wants to bring the peace, wants to be understandable of other people's opinions. He doesn't want to be that person where it's my way or the highway opinion. I can see that he wants to show, like, if you respect me, I respect you type situation. However, as much kumbaya shit as I am, as much spiritual as I can be, see the light, see the good in everybody, you just kind of got to know how to pick your battles. And my opinion, I think Karamo's response is a little naive and, in a sense, a little ignorant. And him as a black man and him as a black gay man, it's like, for one, you're gushing over this guy, talking about you're most excited to meet him. Why? Because it's your attempt as a black man to try to educate the white man when he already has a view of who you are as a black man in his head, let alone a black gay man. Okay, good luck with that. But then to say you had conversation with him, he's a good guy, he's a really sweet guy. Like, come on. Let's keep it. I was about to say let's keep it real, but I'm not in that segment yet. Come on. Let's be honest. Like, we know what this guy represents. We've seen, his arguments on TV. He is proud of what he believes in, and he has no problem going on national television, bashing the gay community, supporting Trump and what Trump represents. So you're trying to be this kumbaya monk in the middle to feel like, oh, well, let's understand each other. And it's kind of like a Kanye West kind of way. Like, oh no, I don't see color. Like, we need to understand each other. He's trying to go this organic route, when sometimes when you're dealing with people like that, I'm not saying you have to get aggressive, but you need to call it for what it is. You say, but I'm a big believer that if you can talk to someone and meet in the middle, you can learn about each other and help each other both grow. What do you mean meet in the middle? There is no halfway for equality and acceptance. What do you mean meet in the middle? You don't try to meet in the middle with someone who is against equal rights. Like, I'm sorry. There is no negotiating. There is no talking. Okay, I get what you're saying. I understand. And here's my point of view. No, I'm not going to sit there and try to meet someone of ignorance and hate in their mind in the middle. I'm just not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to sit there and try to be that understanding person. You are the way you are. I don't support that. So, and therefore I'm not going to fuck with you. Like, stay away from me, because I just don't what you represent is not something I'm for. I am on this side of the fence, and this is what I'm supporting and what I'm rallying behind. So, I'm not going to sit here and be hostile or aggressive or want to beat your ass, even if you deserve it. But I'm not going to sit there and try to educate a white, privileged, ignorant person that feels that he is possibly better than me already. He could be nice, okay, but there's no need to have a conversation with you based off of your track record, based off of what you have spoken highly against. I can speak my piece, but I'm not going to sit here and shake hands with you and say, okay, I see where you're coming from, and I respect that. I respect your opinion. That's where that opinion becomes a very gray area, because it's people will be quick to say, well, it's my opinion. Okay, well, fuck your opinion. I don't have to respect your opinion. I don't agree with that, especially if it's coming from a place of hate against other people and how they live their life, and when it involves, equality and their rights. And you feel that they don't deserve those rights. So why are we having this conversation? No, stay on that side, break a leg, literally on Dancing with the Stars, and you can kick rocks. So I think it was a bad move for Karamo to try and be this culture person that he represents himself as on Queer Eye, when sometimes you do need to kind of come to terms with reality of the situation and who certain people are, and not try to be that Kanye West that's like, yeah, I sat with the president and we're going to talk about this and that. No, this is what he represents. Don't you think you, as this one single black man, can go in and change the mind of someone who thinks a certain way? You're going to look like a fool, because I give you props for trying, but you need to be a little, I think he should have just been either quiet or a little bit harder on his opinion when it came to him. I wouldn't have thrown in, he's a really sweet guy. You can do things, you can deliver communication a certain way without even coming off as disrespectful. I think it could have been delivered as, I had a conversation with him. I realized that we are not on the same side. He represents this, I represent that, and it is what it is. I just won't be a part of that. I'm just here to do my Dancing with the Stars or whatever, and continue my career to show and support, black people, to support LGBT people, anything that is kind of dehumanized in a way, like where they can't step outside and live their life, and they are looked upon as something to be hated on, to be discriminated against. So I'm sorry, you don't make friends with people like that. You just don't. And you're trying to give this message where, okay, look, he's on this side, I'm on this side, we can be friends. I get it. I really do get it, in the sense where you're trying to be a better example to people of okay, two people from opposing sides can come together, but good and hate just sometimes don't mix, and it's better to leave that shit separate. And don't try to play this game, because you're gonna lose. And then when that shit blows up in your face, you're gonna look to the support of your LGBT community, and they're gonna look at you like you're dumb because of these comments you made and how you are all smiles with your buddy Sean and everything on the show. So it's just spreading disinformation. The fact that he's a good guy is just, no, we've seen it. We know what he represents. It's just sad. He could have done better. He could have just been quiet, honestly. He could have just been quiet. The LGBT continues to fight every day, for people of color and people in the community against people like him who has such power to go against them and take away their rights. So you gotta, it would have been a better moment or conversation had you stood up to him and told him, no, what you're doing is wrong. This is what, the community represents, and how dare you feel that you have any kind of entitlement to think that we don't deserve rights as a community, and, and transgender people are this way or that way. We're all human. So I don't want to continue ranting on that, but that's honestly how I feel. And that's kind of where I'm at with Karamo. Extremely disappointed. And for someone who, I'm not going to say he's uneducated, for someone who is very much educated, it seems that this mark was kind of missed on how this situation should have been approached and how he should have answered it in the interview. Just unacceptable. You got to do better, Karamo. I was rooting for you. I think we were all rooting for you, being the only black guy on Queer Eye and someone who is representing culture at that, to not stand your ground when it came to facing up to individuals like this. You're still giving them, people like this, the Trump supporters and this administration, this side of the party, room to feel like it's okay for what they're doing because we're accepting them because it's their opinion, when it's like pointed directly at us. Like the hate is pointing directly at us. And how stupid do we look that we're going to sit down with these people and be like, oh, I get you. No, I get you. You think it's being the bigger person, but sometimes these people, they sitting there talking shit about us. And how does it look that we're going to sit there and shake hands with people like that? Like sometimes you just need to, no, stay away from me. I'm good. I want no parts of that. So sad. Let me know y'all thoughts. Definitely reach out via social media, or you can email me, Whiskey and We. I would love to hear what others think about this situation and what your opinion is. So that's it for What's the Whiskey Friend. Let's take my little 2-second break. I need to refill my coffee because I'm doing my espresso thing. Man, it's so good. It is so tasty. I'm telling you, y'all missing out. But when we come back, we got Keeping It Real. And we are back. And by we, I mean me and this little badass of a puppy that I have now. Yeah, this is my first puppy. And I'm not going to say I'm tired. I think I just need a little bit of recharging because it is a lot of responsibility to have a puppy if you want to do it the right way. And I've always wanted to do it the right way, meaning giving the right time, being there, not just letting it be a puppy. Make sure the training is there. Make sure just he gets enough love. And I damn sure do that. I'm just so affectionate with animals. I can't help it. But, it's still a process. It is. He's about 13 weeks, getting big. And let me tell you, this little nigga, I think I said it before, gets all the attention nonstop. We go out, all the ladies gush over him, and he eats it right up. His little nub of a tail that he doesn't have, wagging left and right. He loves it. He loves the attention. He gets so excited, and they absolutely adore him, this little Australian Shepherd that I have. So I'm doing daddy things, and between working and doing all that, yeah, it's a busy life, but ultimately blessings on top of blessings. I never want to make it sound like I'm complaining. I'll throw in my little vent moment like, damn, I am tired. I could use a nap, but he gonna go and get into some shit, and then I'm gonna have to beat that ass. So, to avoid that, I just gotta stay up, drink my coffee, and we cool, kumbaya. He's sleeping right now, so that's why I'm able to really get out this recording. But all right, y'all, we got Keeping It Real. So Keeping It Real, let's bounce back a little bit to the new music this week. I mentioned, aside from Normani, Taylor Swift dropped a new visual for her song single Lover, which I think it's pretty catchy. It gives like a very I don't know what decade it could have been, but jukebox decade, like Shake Shack diner decade, something like that. I've mentioned Taylor Swift before, and it's getting to a point now where I'm actually starting to defend the girl because for some reason she continues to try to show progression in her videos, and she gets so much backlash, so much unnecessary backlash. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand where it's coming from. I don't think she is problematic in a sense when it comes to like white people. I think she is your typical white country girl. Yeah. I don't think she is necessarily appropriated anything. I think she has switched her music in the sense to where it went pop, but she's not, doing a Miley Cyrus to where she's trying to twerk and everything. I've always seen this girl as very supportive when it's at an award show. I could tell she stands for Beyonce. She's, she just wants to be happy. She just wants to make good music. And she's grateful for her fans. I think she's given back plenty of times to her fans. And this video dropped, and in the video, it shows her being in a interracial relationship with a black man and having a biracial daughter. So this is kind of keeping it real with us black people. When you kind of got to sit down, I have to sit down with y'all and kind of get y'all minds right, because y'all have to take responsibility too. So I'm seeing all the comments and just all the backlash about this video and how she's using this man as a prop. She knows exactly what she's doing. It's a reach. It's like I don't get it sometimes, black people. I don't. How you have to ask yourself, how are we ever going to progress? We can't, I want to say I absolutely agree. The white people need to definitely do 70%, because a lot of hate and a lot of racism obviously comes from them and how they treat us. But like I said on my previous shows, it's not all white people, first of all. So we can't put all them in the same package. We can't put all them in the same boat. So how do we have to play a part too? I guess that's the other 30%. We have to play a part of the progression. We can't just sit back, and I get it, like slavery and the shit that we deal with on a constant basis when it comes to how we're treated. But sometimes it's like, okay, in order to help the progression, we need to kind of at least take some steps forward. And we can't always sit back and expect things to be delivered to us. We don't need to tolerate shit from people. The people that want to call the cops, the people that want to be nosy and get in our business for no reason, yeah, they probably need to be smacked. I ain't gonna lie. But we can't put all these white people in the package. And then when we have ones that are showing progression, I think it's great that she's showing interracial love, because she has such a big fan base that she influences, predominantly white, obviously. So when people see this, it influences them to know, like, okay, based off of no matter how they were raised, to view dating within their race or dating outside their race, it's showing love between people of two different backgrounds, two different races coming together, and it's showing the beauty in it. I don't know. I don't understand why we can't just see the good in some things. Why do we always have to tear something down? And this is specifically for my black people in the community. Why do we have to pull back these layers of negativity? Because it's just starting to look messy and insecure on our part, that I'm seeing comments like she's using him as a prop and is giving me get out vibes and this and that. It's like, okay, come on. Like at some point we have to show the appreciation. We have to show like a little support in this aspect. I'm not saying like, oh my God, thank you, Taylor Swift, for putting a black man in your video. It's just, there's no need to see the negative in everything. If you just don't say anything, like just don't say anything, because if we continue that negative thread of communication, we're like subconsciously, we're always gonna see the bad in everything, no matter what. And it goes back to my question, like how do we progress? And it's not, aside from even how do we progress as white and black people, how do we progress as black people? How do we get better every day? How do we get better at seeing the world every day, despite the hate that we have to deal with and the discrimination and the racism that we have to deal with? How do we get better every day if we're constantly seeing the bad in things like this? Like, even if it doesn't tickle you, then just avoid it and just be like, whatever, and keep it moving. But when you start, words are very powerful. And I always live by the quote, or at least I try to. If everything you say was tattooed on your body, you would be more conscious of what comes out of your mouth. And I remember seeing that quote, and I live by that quote the best I can, because it's true. It's like we have word vomit. We just fly off at the mouth and we think our words don't affect people. Our words have no consequences, and we're quick to post this on social media or, on our feeds and everything. And when you get ready to be challenged or debate, you don't even want to entertain that. You're like, well, I said what I said. So what? So what? You just want to speak your hate, speak your ignorance, speak your negativity, and you won't even be open to possibly seeing it from a different point of view, possibly being influenced a positive way by someone else. I don't understand. Like, why do we wake up feeling that way? What are we doing wrong that we constantly have to be in such a pessimistic attitude? And this is why I don't watch the news that much. Like, really, never, honestly, unless it's something that I have to just occasionally update myself on. Like the Brazilian rainforest, for example. God bless, the situation going on with that. But this is why I stopped watching the news. I just stopped watching. This is why I don't get on social media as much now, because it's too influenced by negativity, and that shit kind of like grows within us, and that's how we start to view the world. I started cleaning out my social media. I started following accounts on Instagram that are more in aligned of where I want to be, and it's helping more people, doing good, trying to get involved more, trying to live by positive affirmations. How we can't just continue to sit back, not get up off our asses, not get up off our black asses, to get involved in the community, to volunteer, to protest, to join these causes, but then want to sit on the couch and give an opinion, a negative opinion, and judge Taylor Swift and her video on her showing interracial love, in a video that's been getting millions of views. So I sometimes I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like, are we asking ourselves enough questions on what is our purpose? What do we want to accomplish by doing this? What are we trying to get out in the world and in society? I think we're not asking ourselves those questions enough, because it's just a force of habit to be like, oh, look at this bitch trying to use a black man as a prop. Okay, like as if this black man did not understand this is a job. I'm about to get paid. I love what the message is. Let's do it. Like, oh, Taylor Swift is using him as a prop. Like, come on. We can't keep. There's a time and a place when we got to call it like we see it and call it for bullshit. But we can't keep using every moment like this as an opportunity of reaching, as an opportunity of like, oh, look at what they're doing to us. Like, we gotta, she did her last video that was strongly LGBT. I mean, left and right. And she was dragged because, oh, she's using that for clout. What clout? What? Taylor Swift don't need clout. Let's keep it real. What clout are y'all talking about? What world are y'all living in? Y'all just, it's like we have, when it comes to people like Taylor Swift, we allow ourselves to formulate this idea of who she is or what we think she is, and we convince ourselves that this is the kind of person she is, and then we take that and we run with it. And we do that with a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, in fact, that we take this idea, we brainstorm and we hypothesize this view of them. This is how I see them based off of, maybe they made a little comment or even just how they act. And we run with that all the way to the grave, and we convince ourselves that this is who she is, and we justify it as a reason to give those hateful comments, hateful excuses on why she's doing this or why she's doing that. Like, is that really the case? Like, y'all are painting this girl to make it seem like she's doing something like controlling the black community or controlling black men or trying to do things for money or popularity, when it's not always the case, people. Like, sometimes you got to just sit back and be like, okay, I'm glad that she's making progression by showing more of this in her video, or having music surrounding this topic and everything, knowing that a lot of people's going to see this. And it's not just about the Taylor Swift. It's just a example of what I see a lot when it comes to people in her position that aren't black. So could Taylor Swift do more? Yeah, but I'm just gonna say I'm not expecting her to. It's not her, People do things different ways, and we can't have expectations on everyone on how they should do things. We can't. We should take what people do as progression with gratitude, no matter what, and be happy and humble that it's happening regardless with all the bullshit going on. So I just I just don't get it sometimes. And I think we as black people, we need to do better ourselves. We need to, you know, start asking ourselves these questions like what is our purpose and everything. We just are now sitting back because of everything that is happening. We have been so convinced that it's all white people against us when it's not. Like my mom is white and she loves my brother and I as her biracial kids. Like my mom is not in that mind frame. She's not a Trump supporter, you know. She's not a Republican. Like she's not on that side. Like that's not the case. So I think we need to kind of just regroup in a sense, and we need to find the purpose in things, why we do things, instead of just sitting on the couch or just behind our phones tweeting our strong opinions on how certain white people treat us or why white people are doing this. Like it's almost like the girl can't have no black man, no black people in her video because it's going to be looked at as bad. But then if she doesn't, it's going to be looked at as bad. This is where I'm trying to go with it. And like I said, not just with Taylor Swift, but just with people in her situation in general. It's not all people. And I will call, I'm the one to call white people out when they do it. I call Miley Cyrus out when I'm like, she want to jump out in and out of R&B and Mike Will and stuff. And I'm still not fucking with her right now because I need her to do more because she fucked up on that. Do I hate her? Am I going to drag her? No. I don't have time for that. I'm just not listening to her music. I'm not following Miley, and I'm not going to waste my too many opinions on her. I'm not going to type a message on social media regarding how I feel about her. I just know I have a stance, I have an opinion, and I'm going to stand behind that until I feel she's done more. But people like Taylor Swift, she's never been problematic. She's just been a ditzy white girl where it's like, okay, girl, sit down. But at the end of the day, I've always seen her as very supportive, trying to do her best, not trying to cause like problems. She could be that white girl that could possibly speak more because her platform is big, but I'm not going to hate her if she doesn't, because I think that may be where the gray area comes in, is that we want people like her to do more. And I mentioned this last week, like, yes, it needs to come from white people more. They need to stand up and speak on it. But if she's not demonstrating racism, if she's not a Trump supporter, she doesn't rally behind that, she supports gay people, she has no problem with people of other races, then at the end of the day, I can't hate her. Why? Because she's not living up to my expectation of how I think she should be using her platform. That's not fair. I can't. The only thing I can do is make sure I use my own platform and I, do my own supporting and my own rallying behind what I believe in. That's all we can do. We can't hold people on these pedestals and get upset and, drag them if they don't do the things that we expect them to do. Like, they have their own lives, we have our own lives. So we need to focus on that. So I think it's time to regroup. It's time to do a little bit better with who we pick and choose to drag, because it's going to cause a continuous chain of just negative concepts and negative viewing. And where's it going to lead us? Nowhere good. It's never going to, we need a little bit more work in the progression area and how we view things. So I'm telling you, y'all need to meditate. Y'all need to fucking meditate, because when you meditate more and you calm your mind, you start seeing the good in the world and not so much the bad. I observe the bad, I acknowledge it, but it pushes me even harder to see the good in the world, to see the people that are still human, that, human decency and love in the world, because I need to know that still exists. I need to know that, we're here for a purpose, and I'm still fighting to bring progression in different areas. So yeah, y'all need to meditate or pray. Do what y'all gotta do. But I'm gonna leave that to rest. What I got next? I got Me Versus the Media. Wrap this up real quick. Me Versus the Media. Stop taking pictures of everything you eat. Jump right into it. Some meals I see, some people go out. Some meals I see, absolutely fantastic. If you go into a fancy ass restaurant and you getting something different like that swordfish, I don't know, Aldon Blue or whatever the fuck, if you getting something fancy where they drizzle that stuff on it, knowing damn well you can't eat it, but it's just there for decoration, I'm all for it. Take a picture, because I've done that before. Don't be taking a picture of your cafeteria lunch food. Don't be taking a picture of your Subway sandwich. And I'm speaking facts because I've seen this. I don't want to see your Dorito bag open and your Subway eat fresh sandwich. The meat ain't even real, probably. And, I used to eat Subway a lot, but let's call it like I see it. The meat ain't probably, it's probably not even real meat. So I think there should be, like I've always believed in, limitations on your posting. You don't have to post everything on social media. You don't have to post every meal. I don't need to see your Coca-Cola drink. I don't need to see that. If it's decorative, if it's presentable, then yeah, like if it's a nice, Sunday ice cream or something, yeah, great. But why are you showing me some basic ass food? It's bad. All it's doing is pissing me off because I'm hungry now and I can't even eat because I'm probably at work or I'm probably on the go. And you showing me some fucking burrito or something or some empanada that I know I can't have right now. And now I got to go and report your ass because I feel like I'm being bullied and I'm being threatened. Like, I feel like this ain't right. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of love for you to be posting your food and me not having it right now. So, yeah, stop posting the food. Like, there has to be a level of privacy to what you do in your life. We don't need to know everything you eat. I do like it when some people post what they're cooking because I've been into that lately. But that's another thing. Focus on the experience of what you're doing. Focus on the experience of eating. Focus on the experience of cooking. But if you got to take a boomerang and you got to take a photo of every step, you're taking away from the moment, especially if you're doing it with your partner or your loved one. You're taking away from the moment of being right there, right now, doing it because you're too busy on your phone trying to document it for other people who don't give a fuck. If you ain't half naked or something, they don't care. It's really your close friends. One or two that'll probably be like, wow, that looks delish. Where's my plate? But other people, they don't care. They be like, oh, I thought it was him in his underwear. Shit, no, keep it moving. Like, that's how it is in this day and age. So just be more in the moment and stop posting your fucking sad ass meals. It's depressing sometimes. You guys need to do better. I'm just kidding, y'all. I love you all. Please don't hate me. But it's all love. It's all fun and games. No hate. Do what you gotta do. You want to post your dry ass chips, you post it, and your water ass down Dr. Pepper. Do what you gotta do, boo. It's all love. No shame. But that's it. That wraps up another show of Whiskey and We. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Once again, questions, comments, concerns, definitely reach out. Email me, whiskeyandwe@gmail.com. You can also check out the social media that I'm hardly ever on. Still trying to figure out a way to utilize that platform, but shit gets hard. It's harder. I can't just post anything. I'm very conscious about my posts, so I'm still trying to find a platform with that. I'm still trying to find a balance when it comes to the social media, but you guys can definitely still follow the site because we can definitely keep in touch even through there. So yeah, Whiskey and We on Instagram. There's also a Twitter account. So if you can't check out the episodes via iTunes or Podbean, but I'm sure if you're listening to it, obviously it's on one of those platforms. You can also catch the episodes audio on YouTube. So definitely check that out. If you haven't already, I truly appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and rate. I love all the support. I am so grateful, so blessed. I say it like all the time, blessings upon blessings. And thank you all for the continued support, the continued streaming, the continued listening. And I hope that I am constantly bringing you entertainment via, what's going on in the world, via mental health. I try to give a little bit of all that. So I want to continue to do my best to bring you guys good content and improve on a daily basis. So enough chit chatter. I hope you all have a good week, a good weekend. Be safe, whatever you're doing. Fall is here. That's another thing. I start school on Monday, y'all. Oh, if y'all are still in college, God bless. God bless. Good luck this semester. Knock it out. Do what you got to do. Make that money. Get that degree. Don't let anybody tell you anything. I told you, pick that song And I told you my song is Cocky as Fuck by Megan Thee Stallion. Pick that one song that's going to get you moving every day and get your day started. But school's about to start. Lord Jesus, help me. Yeah, y'all have a good week. And I will catch y'all not next week, but the week after. Peace.